This whole thing disappointed me so much that I actually moved it to the top of my list of reasons not to visit the Mayans if I ever get a time machine.
Pre-Columbian people of Mesoamerica who cultivated corn also invented a process called nixtamalization. And it turns out that treating it with calcium hydroxide wasn't just making it taste better, it was unlocking nutrients that would save lives.
Another good Florida law, this one really cakes the cake. It's illegal for an unmarried female to go skydiving on Sunday.
It's illegal for an unmarried woman to parachute on Sunday in Florida. I cannot stress to you how often I heard this throughout my life as a child growing up in Florida. It was one of those little fun facts you'd hear all the way back in elementary school, and maybe once or twice a year someone will remind you that it exists. Now, scrounging around the internet finds literally hundreds and hundreds of repostings of this fact everywhere, from sites like Reddit to actual lawyers talking about little trivia law fun facts. It's illegal for an unmarried woman to parachute on Sunday in Florida. Doesn't exist.
First, we'll talk about the food. So one staple of the pirate diet was salted meat, usually wild oxen or pork. And I love jerky as much as the next guy, but this wasn't like a bag of Jack Links. In fact, it was probably closer in texture to your shoes than any meat you've ever eaten. Another essential food item was known as hardtack. This was essentially just flour and water baked into a cracker-like brick. Beyond the fact that it was totally flavorless, hardtack was also extremely dense, to the point where pirates would often have to slam their fists down on it in order to break it into pieces small enough to fit in their mouth. As long as it was kept dry, hardtack almost never spoiled, although it often became infested with weevils.
Certain hacks on YouTube have popularized the idea that food was bad aboard a pirate ship. Can you guess their sources? Whoa, would you look at that? They don't have any. Here's a reality check. Pirates primarily operated between small, uninhabited islands in the tropics, usually the Caribbean. These islands were full of fish, wild game and fresh fruit that the pirates could harvest as they please. They ate fruits like plantains, bananas, pineapples, cassava and sometimes coconuts. There's lots of documentation about what they ate. Really, it was anything, but most of it was quite delicious and greatly available. Their diet was much more balanced and interesting than the average sailors,